Hello and welcome back to TalkBack. We are with Javed Akhtar. Javed Saab, the incident of the pineapple eating director. Yaad aaya aapko?
Yes.
For the sake of our audience, let me remind them that you once got fired from a movie by a director who was having pineapples for breakfast in the morning. And when you walked away, you swore to yourself that one day you would show him that you would become someone. You also fought off tears that morning. And then you started wondering whether he had pineapples every morning for breakfast. Now, the question is that did ambition make you what you are? Or was it tough times?
Well, I suppose we can't put our times and our ambitions in watertight compartments. They are together. But yes, in film industry, or suppose in any competitive field, I mean, there are two times that are very tough on you. एक तेरे आने से पहले, एक तेरे जाने के बाद. So now things have become perhaps comparatively more civilized, I suppose. But when I came to film industry, it was tough. It was tough. It was much more feudalistic. People were much more perhaps the modern value system had not set in our society. So you can imagine, you can understand, being a Pakistani better, that what feudalistic society can offer to somebody who is in a very vulnerable situation.
There's also an incident in a note I read about yourself, by yourself, that you were living in this corridor of a studio and you found Meena Kumari's awards, Filmfare Awards, and you stood in front of a mirror and you thought of the day when you would hold a Filmfare Award.
Those were good times. That time I was sleeping in a costume room.
Right.
That was much better than the corridor.
Right. That was...
I have spent almost 2 to 3 years in the compound of the modern studio. And I have slept in corridors or under the tree and or in the verandas or in the makeup rooms, and ultimately wound up in the costume room where
Which is a promotion of sorts.
Oh,
it's an upgrade.
Yeah.
But the question is that you, just on that incident, now among the literati, ambition is sometimes frowned upon. The literati, the intellectual, the intelligentsia, whatever you want to call it. Ambition is a bad thing. It shouldn't be there. Talent and a drive for change should be there. But it seems to me that here was a young man standing there 30, 40 odd years ago, 30 odd years ago almost.
No, more. This all happened when this story of this pineapple is of 1966, 67, almost 40 years.
But here's a man, 40 years ago, a young man, new in Bombay, standing there with Meena Kumari's Film Awards, thinking of the day he will receive an award, to the thunder and to the applause of the crowd. And this almost smells of vanity. This smells of ambition.
Oh yes, ambition brought me here.
Vanity?
Oh yes, ambition brought me here. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be rich. I'm not ashamed of that. And I had certain talent. I used that talent to achieve that to some extent. But that's what I wanted. But not by working in a stock exchange. Not dealing in steel or cotton, but by making films or writing or directing, because this was my interest. So you should not feel embarrassed about your ambitions. If you want to be successful, if you want to be well known, I mean, it's no crime at all.
No crime at all.
Yeah.
Well, this is how you sum up your life, and this is beautiful, so I'm going to say it in Urdu. आज इतने बरसों बाद जब अपनी ज़िंदगी को देखता हूँ तो लगता है कि पहाड़ों से झरने की तरह उतरती, चट्टानों से टकराती, पत्थरों से अपना रास्ता ढूंढती, बल खाती, अनगिनत भंवर बनाती, तेज चलती और अपने ही किनारों को काटती हुई ये नदी अब मैदानों से आकर पुरसुकून और गहरी हो गई है. You've settled down. Have you?
Well, to some extent. I suppose at different stages of life and in different stages of career, You have to have different mindset and different attitude. When you are a soldier, you fight one way, but when you are a general, you fight another. So there's a difference. You can't become a general and fight like a soldier. That's not possible. And that's not very wise either.
You also had a troubled period with alcohol in your younger days.
Yeah.
How did you fight that off?
One day I decided from tomorrow I won't drink. That's all.
What happened?
And I never
What
touched
caused
again.
it?
As a matter of fact, I was toying with this idea. I thoroughly used to enjoy drinking. It was not because I was lonely or I was frustrated or because I had lost my mother when I was a kid or something of that kind of a story. I used to drink because I used to thoroughly enjoy drinking. It was a pleasure. But came a time when I realized that I have to choose between this pleasure and my career. This pleasure and my life, as a matter of fact. I'm not getting any younger. So in 1991, that was 31st of July, that day I decided from tomorrow I'll never touch alcohol in my life. And I have never done it.
And that was that.
And I'll never do it.
Finally, about your wife, Ms. Shabana Azmi. You've said, मैं जिस दुनिया में रहता हूँ, वो उस दुनिया की औरत है. What do you mean by this?
Well, you know, rarely, I mean, I think those people are fortunate who get a life partner or a friend who can share everything with you. You meet people who share your intellect, or you share their intellect. You meet people who have similar kind of political, social ideas. You meet people whom you love, like your children. You love them, whatever they may be, whatever they may think. But it happens very rarely that you meet one person who fulfills all your desires and needs in a way, whether mentally or intellectually or romantically or emotionally. If that person fills all your gaps in you, it happens very rarely, and that way I am one of those chosen or fortunate ones.
You've said, मैं खुश हूँ और शबाना भी. वो सिर्फ मेरी बीवी नहीं, मेरी महबूबा भी है. I thought that was very beautiful.
Thank you.
But
sometimes, I mean, one of the interviews I've said that friendship is so deep and so strong that even marriage couldn't destroy that.
But you both met in very tumultuous times, didn't you? It was a very tumultuous time for you. You were, I think you had just lost your father, or you were losing your father around that time.
And I had lost my father.
You were at a low ebb in your
partnership
career.
was breaking. My marriage was going down the drains and so on. So many bad things were happening. But anyway.
You've said, she said about you that Javed himself thinks that turning 60 makes him, quote, gives him the, quote, official freedom to be senile. Is that true?
No, it's official.
Javed Akhtar, thanks for coming to TalkBack. And thanks for talking back. This was Javed Akhtar from Mumbai, India on this special series of TalkBack Eye on India. We hope you enjoyed it. Email us at talkback@dawnnews.tv. Your views are important to us. That's it from me, Wajahat S and the rest of the TalkBack team. Take care.